Hello, my astrology friends. This is Lada from Astrolada.com, and these are your November 2023 video horoscopes for each of the 12 signs, with an intro talking about the world events as well. And I've been looking forward to talk about this month because there is something very important happening this month, which is Mars and the Sun are joining together. This happens once every 2.2 years. And as you'll see from my presentation, it actually determines some of the most important tasks and problems that humanity and the individual person will be working on for the next 2.5 years after this conjunction. So we'll cover each of the signs and what it can mean for the world. And also another very good news that I have is that Saturn is turning direct. And that's good news because certain karmic or complicated situations or situations that were stuck will start moving forward, will start unfolding, will start having resolutions. So this is exciting. Just before I start, I want to let you know that my 2024 video horoscopes, 2.5 hours for each sign, you can pre-order them already for 30% discount. They will be released in November, but anyone who pre-orders will get the 30%, and you will be sent on the date of the release on the 17th of November your specific videos on or bunch of videos, ascendant, sun and moon, whatever you choose. And also my 2023 astrology calendar, which I've been doing for 5 years now, and it's very successful with all transits for the year, when planets become visible and invisible, the meaning of all transits, the meaning of all new moons and full moons. They're not specific for you, they're general, but you have like a calendar. It's the 120, 50 pages usually every year, and it's interactive. So you click on the date and it takes you to the meaning of that transit and the events that are happening then, so you can plan your year ahead. But now let's go to this Mars Sun conjunction. First, I'll speak a little bit about the world. Why is it so important? Because the Sun Mars conjunction shows where our biggest battles and fights and our biggest breakthroughs are happening for the next 2.5 years. Let me just remind you, in 2019, towards the end, the Sun and Mars met in Virgo. So what happened for the next 2.5 years? Virgo is a sign of sickness, illness, taking care of your health. Well, we had a pandemic. All the efforts, which is Mars, of the world and all the bright minds, the sun of the world, were getting together to solve this issue or to mess it up, whatever. So that's what happened to last time, the time before last. Then the next 2021, towards October, Sun and Mars met in Libra. And it meant that for the next 2 years till now, the theme was very different. It wasn't, so that's when COVID hysteria started dying out and the cases going down and the lockdowns going down, but a new set of problems appeared, which was Libra to solve. So what happened? Libra is one of the signs of peace and war, or lack of peace. Then we had the eruption of the war in Ukraine. And what happened? Libra is about taking sides. Libra is about negotiations, is about treaties, is about diplomatic sanctions or diplomatic agreements. Well, all the world for 2.5 years was focused on this Libra issue of, and the world actually split into two factions. BRICS and the Western world. The Western world, which is more globalized, the globalists as they call them, and BRICS, which they said, like, we don't want to follow the rules of this agenda. So the world split in two, literally. In Libra also rules business, trading agreements. There was like such kind of rearrangements of alliances. So that was the hugest focus after that. And now we're coming for the next one. So what is going to be the next set of problems? And you're seeing already the war in Ukraine is almost like out of everyone's mind. But where Mars and the Sun are going to meet now in November on the 18th. And we can feel it a month before that, like we started. They're going to meet in Scorpio. And Scorpio is not as forgiving sign as Libra. Scorpio is can be one of the most devastating signs. It can be one of the most destructive signs. It's very profound as well. So Scorpio reveals truths, reveals hidden secrets, brings to the surface everything that is dirty, the dirty skeletons, the dirty laundry, as you say, of the world. All conspiracies, all anything that has been done on the closed doors, they will be a focus for the next 2 years. But Scorpio is a sign of war. Scorpio is and now we're talking that is more dangerous one. And I pray to God it doesn't escalate to something more extreme, but Scorpio is a sign of terrorism, of war, of extreme hostilities. Libra, at least there was some kind of negotiation there. They managed to piece, the balance a little bit. It didn't spread like fire. When Scorpio and the Sun and Mars join in Scorpio, the next 2.5 years can be under a lot of like extreme reactions, scorpionic power struggles in the world, rebellions, it's physical violence as well. It's likely extreme hatred, but also it will show us 2.5 years period of people doing extreme acts of heroism as well. There is the other spectrum of Scorpio, and Scorpio can be, the destructive force, but also the resurrecting force, the extremely healing force. And they're meeting at the 25th degrees in Scorpio. And that's in tropical astrology is the sign Scorpio, and in sidereal, your actual constellations. It's also the sign Scorpio. The sign Scorpio is basically, so both the constellation Scorpio and the sign Scorpio. So there is both astrologies, Western and Vedic, agree. It's in the sign of the Scorpion, near the close of the Scorpion. It's actually, in Vedic astrology, this lunar mansion, we call it, is called Vishaka. And it's the lunar mansion of power. This is one of the most powerful lunar mansions. And this lunar mansion is this lunar mansion of war as well, the warrior king. So again, these are key words, warrior king. So at the personal level, you become a warrior somewhere. And this warrior king, they describe Vishaka as the most focused and concentrated power, horse with blinkers, nothing distracts you. You can't see others' opinion like Libra now. It's like action. You straight, you charge, you don't care, you can trample others towards your goal. So collectively the energy will be like that. Governments, people, like unapologetic, kind of almost ruthless energy. My son has his moon there when he's born. Anyone who has their moon around the last degrees of tropical, from the middle of tropical Scorpio towards the later ones, they're Vishaka. Focused, concentrated, obsessive quality, which is fantastic for a person because these people can be so successful. This is the power, the lunar nakshatra of power and purpose. So whatever this conjunction is happening in your horoscope, we'll cover the 12 signs. You'd have unflinching obsession, passion, dedication to pursue something there, to wage a war against something, to overcome some issue, and you can even, there is a saying that for this lunar nakshatra, the ends justifies the means, which is not true. We have to be careful, but with this, so we have, especially in the political world and collectively, if people or rulers are acting that the end justifies the means, imagine what things can happen. Scorpio rules atomic energy as well. Scorpio rules destruction. Scorpio rules anything to do with poisoning. Scorpio rules anything to do with death, massive death as a possibility. So we'll have to be very careful. But on a personal level, again, collectively, this is dangerous energy. Collectively, it's where we have to pray. But when it comes to personal energy, often the individual can transform this energy in a very positive way. As I said, purpose, focus, indiminisable ambition. this Vishaka part of the Scorpio constellation and sign, this part of this, each sign is split into different lunar mansions. It's so purposeful, so ambitious. So you can do kind of a miracle, hero's work, uncomparable achievements of willpower in that area of your life that the Mars and the Sun activates. I'm not saying already from November, but you have 2.5 years to work on that. So we'll cover each of the 12 signs. But there is also a bit more danger because this Sun Mars conjunction is opposite, which is very powerful aspect, Uranus. And Uranus is very close to the star Algol, which is a star of revenge, a bit of a destruction. Uranus is very explosive, boom, 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 and you see what's happening already. As I said, astrological influences can start happening up to a month before. And explosions, everything, even kind of destruction. There is Scorpio rules volcanoes as well, so think about such kind of Uranus on Algol in Earth sign, even the earth shaking in a sense. Oh, I sound so apocalyptic, but Scorpio is apocalyptic sign. Here is representation of Scorpio behind me. The kids made it yesterday. So all of those things are Scorpio, which is howling, scary, spooky. But it's also the rebirth of the soul. It's the soul. It's almost like the soul is thrown into the fire of a volcano, spun there and brought out purified and clean. Pure without all the dirt is burned off of it, all the muck, all the pain, all the trauma. It's traumatic for a bit, but then it's this resurrection light like a phoenix. So this can happen in your personal life over the next 2.5 years in a certain area of your life. But because Uranus is involved, I think the events will be sudden that happen. They will be powerful. They will shake us up, and on a personal level as well. Collectively, there will be a powerful involvement because Uranus is a social planet of fast-moving trends, viral trends, and anything to do with very powerful coming together of people for a cause. So social movements of any sorts, and this will be shaky. But it's violent. I mean, Mars opposition Uranus and the Sun. The three planets are quite fiery, quite explosive, sudden as well. Things will be developing very fast. Things are speeding up for the next 2.5 years. We have a saving aspect to this conjunction of Sun and Mars, those guys. This is Neptune is making exact trine to the Sun. Mars conjunction at 25 degrees Scorpio from 25 degrees Pisces. So the trine is divine grace. Neptune is divine unconditional love, also divine grace. Pisces is, the principles that teachers like Buddha and Christ taught us. Forgiveness, love your enemy. We're all one, embrace it from a higher perspective. What will help us? God's grace to alleviate those tensions, to alleviate things getting really destructive. This darker side of Scorpio. Neptune, prayers, people coming together in collective meditations, God's divine grace. Just because God is graceful, God loves us and gives us extra chances always. Faith, knowing that there is a purpose and meaning for that. And of course, forgiveness. Forgiveness is something that is going to possibly even solve those problems. Softer approach. On a personal level, again, prayer, having faith in higher power and knowing it's taking you somewhere. So this is about this conjunction. The other thing is Saturn is turning direct. But we'll look at this individually. I wanted to look with you specifically about this combination, how it will affect the world. And what we can expect for the next 2.5 years, and because of Uranus involved on Algol, that will be very active next year as well, the energy will get very shaky. And Uranus, and by the way, Scorpio and Taurus, because they're both on the axis of this conjunction, they're financial signs. Scorpio rules the banking industry, where you put mutual finances. Scorpio rules hedge funds. Scorpio rules anything to do where many people gather their money at one place. Scorpio rules from the earth, the treasures underground. So that will be petrol, oil, anything that you dig out from underneath the ground. So these are resources underneath the ground. There can be some big focus on that in the next 2.5 years. We already have that happening with petrol and so on, but I think it might escalate because of Scorpio. There might be some battle there because of such resources, or some power stances and decisions taken because of that. Of course, Uranus is in Taurus. It's connected to the resources above the earth, food, wood, stones, all of those things. The prices basically of commodities is Taurus as well, with Uranus there. So it's a financial access, personal money, big money, oligarch money. Scorpio, Taurus is the bounties of the earth, and Taurus is the food that grows on earth. And so this is where I see the tension and the biggest changes happening. So the financial industry, the food industry as well, this access of food and finances, where the focus of willpower, energy, and having to solve problems, but of course also crisis, because Mars has this energy of crisis and something you have to battle for, something you have to put your energy like a soldier to fix, to improve. And hopefully, but it's about 2.5 year cycle. And I hope that this war that started in the Middle East, and guess what? Middle East is ruled by Scorpio as well in ancient literature. And just like less than a month before that, we see before Mars Sun conjunction there, it's escalating. I really hope it doesn't escalate further, but it seems it's again going to be like a 2 year thing happening. That starts there, and I hope it doesn't involve more of the world. That's why this Neptune maybe will be helping. All right, so that's it. Now let's look at each of the 12 signs. Sun, Moon, or Rising, November 2023. Aquarius, the month starts with planet that rules us, Saturn, turning direct. Saturn is the traditional ruler of Aquarius. It rules the more material manifestation, so especially the physical part of our life. So it's very good news from the 3rd, 4th, Saturn turning direct in the 2nd house for us. So first of all, generally when our planet turns direct, you'll see that things start moving more easy. Responsibilities ease off, or something that was burdensome, sorry, or heavy becomes easier. Even for your health, if there was some kind of a heaviness or some testings, it start unfolding, turn around. Saturn rules if it's your ascendant, your physical body, even Sun and Moon, it's your levels of energy and well-being. You can see a turnaround in those directions. And if you've been putting efforts to improve yourself, you can start seeing the results now. But also if other areas of your life have been delayed, because Saturn rules the whole of us, or they've been just dragging or requiring extra efforts, it becomes easy again. Also, your mood can lift up gradually through November. It's like you're not carrying that heavy of the planet on your shoulders. So it's kind of lighter energy, forward moving. And for the next 7-8 months, the planet that rules the Saturn is moving forward. So we slowly move forward ahead as well, and into new territories. But of course, Saturn turning direct in our 2nd house will also impact that. If there's been some delays with finances or blockages, or things not being as good as normal, more testing, you can start seeing gradual improvement of that. You can start seeing things from November taking another direction, turnaround in financial situation. Of course, if you've been putting efforts to secure over the last few months into some project to secure more financial stability or whatever, those efforts now you'll start seeing the results of them, whether you've been working extra hard on something or whatever. Now you can start seeing the results of it. For better or worse, depends how shitty a job you did or how good you did, what the rewards will be from that. I hope good, I'm hoping the same. But of course, knowing that when Saturn is in the 2nd house, there is always, for the next 2 years, yes, it's turning direct, but it's going to carry on being in the 2nd sign from Aquarius, which is connected to resources, finances over the next 2 years. So it's a strong focus for 2 years, and it might not always go as we wish or as fast as we wish, but there is now improvement, at least temporary for a few months. And it's about mastering that sphere of life. And you can continue ahead with new projects for financial stability and so on. But also there is, second house is the house of resources. So if there was some obstacles with gaining resources or problems with valuables like breaking down or anything in your possessions, property that you've been working on, you might start seeing the results. Maybe you are trying to salvage some old things, and or maybe you've been trying to repair something. Now Saturn turns direct, you can start seeing the good results of it. Okay, so again, but everything financial for the next 2 years ahead, you have to be more cautious, more traditional, invest in more traditional things, never rush, and impetuous, so to speak. Also, if you've had some problems with teeth, because this is the second house, Saturn turning direct can start helping you solve those problems, or the situation changes. I've been having a toothache since Saturn turned retrograde, and I keep going to the dentist and I freak out and I leave. So one tooth, so I'm still postponing it, and I'm just hoping it spontaneously recovers now that Saturn turns direct in my second house. Who knows? It might. If you've been doing some teeth work, now it can end. Or if you've been doing some efforts to change your eating habits, now when Saturn turns direct at the beginning of November, it will become easier for you. It will start giving the results. You'll start say, for example, now Saturn retrograde, I just decided to eliminate dairy to see what happens, because I've been having some gastric problems. And so I'm doing this. With Saturn retrograde, you do the hard work. With Saturn turning direct, you start seeing a change, and you start seeing like the rewards for that. Or you might go back to the previous way because you find out it did not affect you in any way. Go back to how things were. Or because you healed something by changing your eating habits, Saturn direct, and things change, so you can go back. Or to how you ate. Or it can mean that something shifts the direction, how you eat, your diet starts shifting, your attitude towards your diet, because it's a change of a direction. I don't know in which direction it will go. Just expect something big is shifting this most of October and most of November for you, into your mindset towards food, towards your self-worth, towards finances, towards in the direction of all those things, and even family situation. So that's about Saturn. Then let's look at the really next very important event that will affect you also for the next 2 years. It's happening in another earth house, which means house of worldly responsibilities and duties, just like Saturn is asking you for the next 2 years to be responsible, mature, and organized with finances, resources, with food, with what you put in your body, the kind of very material, practical things. The same way, the Sun-Mars conjunction in the 10th house will ask you to mobilize your energies and focus on career. Again, very mundane part of life, but something, and that's not just career, it's like your mission there. And it's happening at 25 degrees. Scorpio 24, that's where exactly my midheaven is. If you're Aquarius rising, maybe your midheaven is there, somewhere around those degrees. But it's happening in the 10th sign from Aquarius, if it's your sun or moon as well. So it's really new chapter starts in your life, guys, in our lives. New chapter where it mobilizes our energy to this 10th house of some career project you might be working on. For some of you, it can mean a new chapter, new career that appears in your life, that mobilize your focus, your energy, your resources. And you come out victorious, though, because this combination of Sun and Mars, they're conjunct in the nakshatra Vishaka, which is symbolized by a warrior coming back triumphantly from war, passing through an arc. So there is focus, there is indestructible willpower, and eventually winning. Sometime in these 2 years, within 2 years, some kind of a peak of achievement. because there is so much willpower that Vishaka has. The most willful, the most powerful constellation is considered out of 27. The most powerful lunar mansion that this conjunction is happening. It's happening in your 10th house. So you're asked to mobilize your resources, your energy to achieve something great, the great work in this lifetime. And it's not going to happen again. Sun-Mars conjunction in Scorpio for probably not many years. I don't know how many. 30, 40, I have to check. Excuse me if I haven't, but the last one was in Virgo, then in Libra, in Scorpio. Maybe the next one will be in Capricorn or Sagittarius. We'll wait for a while. So once in a lifetime opportunity to achieve something like a peak, to mobilize all your energy as a soldier, to maybe to fulfill some duty or responsibility towards the world, maybe to create a career, maybe to fulfill a goal, maybe some business to change, to structure something new there, and you'd be at the peak, you know. But there might be a struggle, and you're required to put the energy. But you have this obsessive streak that is being activated by the Sun and Mars in Scorpio. This all or nothing. And it might be has also destructive energy where you destroy certain structures in your life, certain whatever is your social status, and whatever is your status is you destroy it, or whatever your career is destroyed, but you rebuild it and you come up victorious and you come up on top, or you just do something new there. And even if it happens to you not because of you want it, but because it's kind of circumstances change, so it's imposed on you, you definitely will again be able to mobilize all your resources to take the situation in hands and take it whatever you want. So something big you're doing there, not in November only. Yes, in November you'll be very busy. Maybe the ideas will start coming, but and things will start moving fast. But there can be some, you know, it's after all Scorpio, power struggles with father figure, power struggles with, it started for me already, power struggles with authorities, power struggles with bosses, clashing heads, big way. If you're the boss figure yourself, you can become a bit authoritarian, you can become a bit bossy, but also you're very initiative and great example of dedication for the next 2 years. If you're the boss, you can as well be given more power, be given more executive decisions of some sort, even if you're not the boss, to take some major decisions, executive and so on. And also you might be asked, no matter what position you are in, to take your power in regards to changing the world and achieving your goals, so to really become strong in that area. And if there is some authority that is being over you, that is power hungry, that is abusing you in some way, and it might be a boss, it might be the government, it might be police, you might have a clashes with those, but you are fighting against them because your warrior spirit, remember Vishaka is the warrior god, where the constellation is happening. Your inner warrior is being born there. Maybe people will see it around you in the world, this warrior spirit in you, this pioneer spirit as well, because Mars is pioneer, warrior. You might be fighting for some cause, and that becomes very visible for you. Or maybe, mobilizing all your energy in some visible role, or starting a new career, new job. But also there is this tension with Uranus in the 4th house between parents' axis, so there might be something very sudden or more intense that happens with parents, that happens on home and family, some even relocations, because Uranus is involved, suddenly, unexpectedly, some changes in that area. It's dynamic, it's a bit stressful, but big changes on this axis, not just now in November, but for the years ahead as well, for the year ahead, 1 year and further ahead. So what are you going to be called to do that will be visible for the world, or to fight with some authority, or I don't know, or some great work that is expected from you, and taking your power and taking leadership role, initiative role, authority position, So this is it, Aquarius. Let's just quickly mention Venus, because it's active just for this month. So we give you some idea also just for the November energies. I always love to look at Venus because it shows us where the good things and the easy things come for us. during that month, and it's happening in your ninth house. Venus will be there from around the 9th, 10th of November till the end of November. So you have 20 days where Venus in the ninth house is great, because Venus is in another self house, so you feel Venus energy way more than normal. You feel more attractive, more agreeable, more kind, even though the warrior spirit there to achieve is high with you, with visibility and being busy with responsibilities and career. But Venus in the ninth house can be a fantastic time to travel, go abroad, go on a trip far away in a place you haven't met. Or if you can't travel physically, even though Venus can make it easier, go on a travel with your mind, learning higher knowledge, take a course, and you'll find it very enjoyable, something very pleasurable. Higher minded, study astrology, or you might be interested in philosophy or art, something again more cultural. It can be a great time to apply for any university if you want to be accepted easily, or if you have any teaching project or educational project, do it the last 20 days of November. Learning project, fantastic. Or if you want to apply for any documents for abroad or for visas, again, the last 20 days of November can go quite well. All right. This is it. And of course, there's more of the Venusian energy. This is it for your Aquarius. If you want to hear your 2024 video horoscope that I made almost 3 hours, yeah, it's in the link below. It's discounted 30% till November 17th when I release them. But after that, they'll go on for full price. And you can also get a package for smaller price. And we've sold about more than, I don't know, maybe around 20,000 of those since I started making them, because people really love them. And I really give it my all. And also the 2024 calendar is coming out on November 17th. It's already ready, but I'm keeping it down so more people can buy it in advance and get a discount before that, where I cover every transit. I write it every year for you to know what transits to expect, how to plan your year ahead, and what it means. Every new moon, full moon, just specifically for that year, how it's going to affect people. What is it good to do? When Jupiter goes to Sagittarius, to Gemini next year, when Jupiter joins Uranus, when Venus makes a trine to Neptune or Saturn, what is that good for? What to expect, and so on. And it's again 30% discount. So thank you so much, and I'll see you. Let's see the new mission that Aquarius receive.